I've chosen him to give this lecture because it's, whew. And Sabelo, he gave him really nice advice. He told him like, I am telling you, this is my like, in a more brotherly way, you should like think about your language because you are saying something against about what you were saying. Like he advised him to think a lot about using terminologies and words because he was he conflicting his thoughts, and he told him that, and he was like, no. It's like he took it like something offensive or something like this, instead of taking his advice in more like good ways.
But here's the thing, like you said, like he was. What did he say that you found it very stupid during that event?
Because I know him. Because I was in Turkey. I told you before that I started my PhD there, and he's belonging to the party, Islamic party in Sudan. So that dictatorship, and that the party was ruled Sudan for more than 30 years. And in his presentation, he avoided talking about that.
Okay.
As if it were like, hasn't been a part of Sudanese history. It's like
selective.
Selective.
Selective care.
Yeah.
And selective. Okay, so it wasn't basically a wholesome dissecting of the picture.
And it was like, just he was talking about the Sudanese war is like, it was created by foreigners, by United Arab Emirates. It's Ethiopia. Could you imagine that?
Ethiopia?
Yeah, he was saying that Ethiopia and Russia. Russia wanted to rule Sudan.
So basically, the stupidest part was like the facts.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It didn't came from a factual place.
Yes.
But more of a.
And I think he was thought that no one from Sudan will be attending. Because he was like, when he started his presentation, he was saying that this presentation is like to tell you the real story of the Sudanese war. Students in Europe, they don't know a lot about Sudan, about the tragedy, about
You were saying something about the massacre in Khartoum in 2019.
Yeah.
We were having that conversation, and I told you to hold your thought on it. You were saying something.
It was a lost opportunity for Sudan, because at that time, like, all Sudanese people were believing in revolution, and it was really, it hasn't been like that in our recent history. It was like a great opportunity to create a new Sudan, and we had a lot of dreams about more open society. We will start to develop our countries and this stuff. But then that massacre, no one until now is convicted of that because of that. So, and now the killing is continued in another way. It's like full-fledged war. So, but at that time, because they created a community of like a revolution, like people were going, because the place where this happened, it was like, I remember I was given a lecture, online lecture, because I was I wasn't in Khartoum, I was far, but they created this idea of like encouraging people to talk about different issues in Sudan. In the past, we are not able to talk about everything because the rule of the party, of the Islamic party. It was like there was like a free atmosphere, so you can say what you want to say. It was like people even they started to to raise question about the history, about some stuff, about like, and they started for the first time. They started. I'm not going to say they accepted each other, but they started to accept the idea of we need to accept each other, and it was a process. Like it was just started
during that time.
Yeah, because like they were like, when something happens like in regions, they start to interact with it in more perfect way, because that revolution, what like was made it strong, it wasn't started from Khartoum. It started from regions.
So Khartoum was the culminating.
Like, yes, but it was the first incident. It was like something in I think in Damazin. Yeah, it's like far from Khartoum. So.
Were you there during that time?
Yeah. We at that time we were doing a lot of bad stuff, because the university was still governed by the old regime. And we were working with our students. We were like, you should say that, and you should say, like, we were like doing this, like encouraging them, because they were like asking us, we want to go outside and like have some like chanting and this stuff, what we should do. We should do this like regarding the university. We need to change the university system. Some professors, they don't have any certificates, but they are professors because they are belonging to the
Islamic party.
Yeah, so we need to change everything, and it was.
So
even I remember I encouraged them to talk about sexual harassment at that time, and I told them we can make it like this. We should bring like a box within this, like, because they created this a public place where people are gathering and discussing everything. Mostly youth, they gather and they speak about their dreams, about the old regime and this stuff. And at that time I encouraged them to bring a box, so each girl which was like being sexually abused in something related to university stuff, like a test or something like that, she should write, without mentioning her name, she should write what has happened to her and the name of the professor, like a specific professor. And they started this process, and we started to know people, like, because people at that time were like, they started to feeling free, you can say everything, and we wanted to make it. But then after this massacre of Khartoum, because they closed, because this public place, it was like they choose the place which is like the military leadership, like it's like something, a place where you have the military building of the region, or of in Khartoum even. So because I remember you were discussing this with when we were talking about Kenya, the movement in Kenya, and they should take like some lessons from others movements.
It's very serious what is going on in Sudan, because what is going on in Khartoum, right, is the first time in history since World War II that a capital of a country has been completely destroyed.
Yes.
Like in most countries, like even in instability, the capital is still still safe. Like even if you look at my country, Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou is still safe. You can still go buy your groceries. You can still go to clubs. You can still go to bars, you can still go to restaurant, buffet, you can still have a good time. In Congo, Kinshasa, you can, like, people are partying like crazy in Kinshasa. Fally Ipupa can do his concert, every but in the case in Sudan is really, really, really tragic, because even in the capital has been destroyed.
Yes.
And because of the media silence, people have no idea. You really have to have contact with people over there to really know what is really going on there. Like, militaries are looting the country.
Yes.
And
both of them.
Yeah.
Like the army and also the militia. Both of them, they are doing the same practice.
You have to excuse me on that one.
Are everywhere in Europe, and all of them are talking about Sudan without being there. And they will, like the guy from Ankara, like he was like, because in order to say to people that I know what is going on, I have a friend of mine told me that. I have a friend of mine telling me that. So you are not there.
So that's what he's saying? He has a friend of his telling him that?
Yeah, each time he was saying that. And I remember once he was mentioning women in Sudan. They used to wear gold. We have this as a part of our cultural. But some people from army and militia, they beating them and took their
gold.
And I was waiting him to say that they were raped or something like this. Mm-hmm. He didn't say that. I said, why? Like that. You have to continue the story like it's not about only beating and taking gold.
You have to paint the whole picture.
Yeah, but yeah.
I think.
But really, I don't know how they have chosen him. But there was something they were talking about the African Union. I didn't understand what's the relationship between African Union and that guy and Bayreuth University, because they were talking about they have a group of activists who are like dealing with the African Union, and through this interaction they ended up interacting with this guy in order to give this, because if they are serious about doing something on Sudan, if they go to Texas and ask them about people from Sudan, I'm sure they will have a lot of people from Sudan who are like doing PhD or postdoc or even supervisors who studied Sudan, so they can manage something. They can. I felt unhappy because the students, most of them are like German students, and that guy was telling them nonsense, completely nonsense. And I'm sure some of them, they were thinking about what he was talking about as something real. But yeah.
Even like the place where this event was held was in a small room.
A small room, yeah.
And a friend of mine actually gave me that criticism, like, why, like this, because this guy, he's a professor or something, and a researcher that came from another country to talk about something very important that is ongoing and not sufficiently talked about and showcase. Why is it given a small space?
Yeah, Sabel also told me that. Why, like, yeah.
I think.
But if it was about Palestine.
Oh. Yeah, that's the hot topic now.
Yeah.
So.
There's an old man from Syria. Each time I meet with him, I show you him last time. Even he changed his identity these days. Instead of saying he's from Syria, he started saying, I am a Palestinian, but I grew up in Syria. So it's like make it more appealing for people, like to have like some like
empathy.
Like yeah.
But if you say you're from Congo, you're like, oh, Congo. Oh, I'm from Sudan. Oh, Sudan.
Is it in Africa?
Sudan.
But yeah.
People choose to care about what they want to care.
Yeah, it's just about matter of what you want to care about.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I met with a lady from Ethiopia. She told me she's working as a researcher at University of Bayreuth, her name was.
Oh yeah, I know her.
Yeah. Because we had a discussion, and she told me that I know a lot of, because I went to our border with Ethiopia, and I was doing some field work about sex tourism and this stuff.
Sex tourism?
Yeah. Sudanese people crossing the border in order to have sex with Ethiopian ladies. And she was like shocked, like, I know that in Addis, but not in small places. And I told, no, they're doing. She said, no, I want to have an meeting or an interview with you. I said, okay. But in order to have an interview with me, she should bring a Sudanese lady, which is from Khartoum. She's working with her as she's doing a PhD here also. And I don't want to interact with her while this Sudanese lady is, because I don't want to know people through people. If she wants to meet me, I am available here. We can meet every time. She doesn't need to bring that Sudanese lady as a mediator between both of us. And for that, I will try to avoid meeting her. If she said, because she was saying, yeah, you have a lot of knowledge, we can develop some cooperation, but we should wait until that Sudanese lady coming. Why?
That sounds very bureaucratic.
Yeah, but I know people from capitals, they like each other. They don't like us from regions. Marginalized people, we don't know anything. We need someone.
Yeah. But we had a conversation where we talk about how in rural, we're basically talking in a nutshell about dating in Sudan and how you cannot have casual intercourse in most part, especially in rural areas. Therefore, the way to have intercourse is by marrying, and how some people actually marry
because only for this.
Yeah.
And their relationship will,
So, is it also linked to the sex tourism in Ethiopia?
Because
people cross borders just to
get in
laid.
Order, because you don't know anyone there. You can do.
Damn. That's crazy. So here's the website of the guy. That's his name site, LT name.
Okay. So okay.
And you can
Tonight, okay.
So that's what it's written. You can go through.
Okay.
This is its photographies. What's so funny?
every time I decide that this is one space and not the other, a boundary gets placed.
How did you understand that?
Like, a boundary. People are creating visible and invisible boundaries. Between Khartoum and Berlin.
What? Got some legs.
Yeah, in Sudan, if we publish something like this, it says like.
So everything too sexual is.
Yeah, not respectable.
I mean, my theory on that is like, I think this comes from the Islamic imposition of worldviews. Because from an African perspective, sexuality is a part of life.
Yes. Even in Sudan, until before this Islamic regime, the situation was different. You can go and drink alcohol, you can have sex with women. Even our ladies were wearing something like European ladies now. From time to time, they publish photos, old Sudan, they say. And it was like, But when Islam comes, as someone told me, before this Islamic regime, we could marry before any documents. You don't need documents to get married to someone. It's all about like, we have in the community, we know each other. This man gets married to another woman.
Yeah.
So that is all. But then the Islamic people come and said, you should have a document. You should have an Islamic contract. And he was like telling me, like he was laughing because they oblige even old married people to create a new document. It's like we have been married for more than 10 years. Why we should create a document now? Like but really Islamic way of this Islamic regime changed the community totally. And what is allowed in the past has become not allowed. So people are forced to go to do some stuff secretly. So they changed the community a lot.